Hello, my name is Valerie Pineda, and this is my final design to project a sacred space and monument. So, on today's agenda, we will be discussing the location, breakdown of my precedent studies, my inspiration, concept statement, and design analysis. So, this site is located in Prairie View, Texas, with a great view of the sun path and somewhat flat land with a downward slope near a river. This project's mission was to produce a design that respectfully brings attention to the history of this slave cemetery and designing a monument slash memorial and a sacred space inspired by our precedent studies. The Aldea Temple was one of the six individual precedent studies I researched that I eventually was able to dive deeper in during the group precedent studies. The temple is located in São Lourenço da Mata, Brazil. This sacred space was led by architect Edson Muniz. Muniz heavily focuses on minimalistic, nature-conscious designs that contrast traditional to modern contemporary. Muniz designs with restraint, honest materials like white concrete that allows the blue tile and red brick to give a pop of color. This straightforward materials contrast the deep respect for nature, creating spaces that speak through silence and light to create a space for intimate spirituality. Our group three memorial research was on the Dr. Vishnuvardhan Memorial Complex located in Karnataka, India. The memorial was created by Nishal Abukumar in 2023 to honor Dr. Vishnuvardhan, a famous Indian actor. This building is a centralized space that allows visitors to walk through the life of Dr. Vishnuvardhan. For my part T on the bottom left, I use inspiration from the memorial, being a sort of hub for conversation like intended by the architect. He designs with the intention of community coming together to converse, and I wanted to include this in my actual design with the inspiration of this party I created. For my first three iterations, I used inspiration from the organization and principles of my president studies to convey a chronology of Prairie View. The design in the middle was my first iteration and the iteration I ended up developing. I was interested in the triangular form of the Aldea temple and how simplistic it was in design, as well as me being able to execute the past and present through these geometric shapes. My image used to describe my design is a swinging pocket watch that appears to be leaving a trail of what once was there seconds ago. My design is linear like a timeline that showcases the legacy of Prairie View from start to end, honoring the first eight students and living the legacy they dreamt of with over 9,000 students enrolled today. My design will contrast the establishment and the future. My design was heavily inspired by the parties crafted from the individual president research. The one on the right concept word was unity. The idea was to create a tranquil space that centralized different ideas together in hierarchy. My design demonstrates the journey of the first eight students that attend Prairie View, and the one on the left evokes focus and how simple geometric forms help understand the emotions architects want to evoke. For example, the sharp points evoke the secular and uncertainty, just like the Aldea's temple's exterior. My concept statement was retracing the footsteps of those who turned oppression into a foundation for excellence and education that became a testament to moving forward. And my design name was Transitional. My floor plan starts off with one direct pathway that can either be led into the monument or the sacred space. The entrance of the sacred space is very narrow, contradicting the idea that African Americans could not have an education. Proving the discrimination wrong, the space opens up to a 30-foot tall sacred space room in which a priest can minister in. This building is able to hold more than 30 people, and the entrance houses one male and one female restroom for guests to utilize before entering the sacred space. The sacred space also offers an open view of the pavilion that is directly facing the sacred space. This space can be used to host gatherings or celebrations of the triumph of Prairie View A&M University. My section cuts are diagonal in order to view the slope of my pavilion and sacred space that showcases the hierarchy, principle, and linear form. The pavilion is inspired by my memorial, the first eight students that enrolled in the university, with structures counting eight stands. The barriers Prairie View was able to break as one of the first HBCUs in Texas to offer education in agriculture, arts, science, and mechanics. The monument uses conservative, muted colors, while the pavilion has a modern open concept window design to contrast the past and future of education in this institution. The foyer offers a waiting recreational space in which guests can utilize the restroom or converse before or after service. The sacred space interior highlights the grand entrance of natural light and the minimalism of the space in order for the outdoor surroundings to bleed into the space for a more tranquil experience that allows visitors to be more involved with the nature surroundings. My private sacred space interior also allows nature to be a part of the guest experience. This close to nature space is heavily inspired by the Aldea temple that is also surrounded by vegetation to evoke peace viewing the landscape. And that is my Design 2 project. Thank you so much for listening.